YouTube channel Lomzy Sews. This is actually my first video and I'm going to be showing you tutorials on how to make all your sewings in details and standard. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make a tailored skirt and it's going to be detailed and standard. So make sure you watch till the end as I'll be using this block to make most of my designs. So for this skirt block, we are going to be using a UK size 10, which is US size 6. The measurement we need for this block is the waist measurement, hips measurement, and the waist to hip measurement. The waist measurement is 29 inches. Hip measurement is 38.5 inches. And waist to your hip measurement is 8.25. This is a tailored skirt block and is used when the skirt is not required to attach to a bodice. So less ease has been added to the hips of the skirt and this gives it a closer fit, so that you have a good grab on your hips. Note that this block has 0.5 ease in the waistline of the skirt. The waistline of the skirt should be always eased to the waistband, always, so that you have that fitting around your waist. So let's get started. The next thing we will be doing now is square out the block. You have to square out to make sure this is equal. So make sure all the block is squared out correctly. So we're good to go. So we have squared it out. The next thing to do is, remember this block we have drafted it front and back pattern together. Is in two. We are not folding it into four. So what we are going to get now is the center front. The center front, this is the center back where the zip is supposed to be. This is the front part. So let me show you how I got this. The hip measurement is 38. So we divide 38 by 2. It is by 2 because this is by 2. It's the front and the back. It's not just the front alone or the back panel. So we're working on 2. So we're going to be dividing that by 2. So 38 divided by 2 will give you 19. Then we'll add ½ inch allowance for easing. So 19 plus 0.5 is going to give us 19.5. And that's what we have here. As you can see, 19.5 for easing. Now, we have gotten our center front. So the next thing we're going to get now is the waist to hip measurement, which is your hip line. Is your hip line here now. And remember I told you before that our hip line is, waist to hip line is 8.25. So that's how I got this 8.25. So the next one you're going to get now is the required length. You might decide to make it a 3/4 skirt. You can decide to make it a mini skirt, anything you want to do. But this one, we are going to use this length, 24. The length of our skirt block will be 24. So that is what we are going to use as our length, our skirt length. So we are going to be going to the back now to get the back panel out. The back panel is what we are going to work on now. So the next thing you'll be getting is your back panel. Remember, for us to get the full block, the back and the front panel, we made divided by 2. So now what we are going to do is our hip measurement divided by 4. When you divide it by 4, you're going to be getting 9.5. And remember the easing we put in when we divided this into 2. Remember we added ½ inch. That ½ inch easing allowance, we are going to take it to our back because our back and the front is not the same. So we are going to take that ½ inch to the back, which will now make it 10 inches. And that's how we got this line here. This is the back panel, this is the zip side, that's the center front, and this is the hip line. Now the next thing we are going to get now is the waist measurement. The waist measurement for the back. And the waist measurement is 29. 29 divided by 4. This time around we are doing it by 4. This is the only place we made it divided by 2. So for the back panel, the waistline, we are going to divide it by 4. The waist is 29, divided by 4 is 7.25. 7.25, we are going to be adding 1.75 dots for that measurement. So we are going to be doing that now. 7.25 plus 1.75, which is going to give us 9 inches. We are going to mark that out now. 9 inches, yeah. So we are going to take ½ inch up for our, we are taking ½ inch up for our waist shaping. ½ inch. We are going to be connecting that. We are going to be connecting that. We are going to be connecting that. Let's connect that. As you can see, I'm connecting with a straight ruler now. Later, I will use my hip curve to connect it. So now, we are going to be dividing this into 3 to get our, where we are going to drop for our darts. The back panel is going to have 2 darts. So we are going to be dividing this into 3 to get our darts. Nine divided by 3 is 3 inches. So we are going to drop that down. We are going to drop that down. 3 inches. 6 inches. We drop it down. When you're dropping it down, so I would like you to note here, when you're dropping it down, the darts on this side, we're going to drop it by 5.5. Remember, we're using this line. We're working from this line. So you will drop it down 5 by 5, which is here. And you drop this one 5 inches. 5 inches. And remember our darts, remember we added 1.5 inch, 1.75 inches darts allowance. Remember we added 1.75 dart allowance. We are going to divide that by 2 and make that our dart width. That is going to be our dart width. 1.75 divided by 2. So we are going to mark that out now. And we are going to connect it. See, as you can see, I have connected it. We are going to go ahead and connect it. So we are done with our back panel, and we are going to label it back. Always label your patterns. Label this back. This is the center back. Like I told you, this is a UK 10 and US and everything. So for your front waistline, we're going to be dividing front waistline divided by 4, which is going to give us, remember our waistline is 29. 29 divided by 4 is 7.25. And we're going to add 1 inch dart allowance, which will give us 8.25. So let's mark that out. 8.25. And we're going to be taking it up ½ inch for the waist shaping, the way we did at the back panel. So we're going to be connecting that now. Remember again, I'm connecting with a straight ruler first, so that I always square my work out. So the next thing I'm going to be doing now is I'm going to be connecting the waist, the hip line. I'm going to be connecting it now to this. So we're going to be connecting this now. As you can see, we have connected it. We're going to get our is the dart point. So what we are going to do is we are going to be dividing our waistline into 3. 1/3 of it is going to be our line for our dart. 1/3 from the side, not from this way. So 1/3 of 8.25 is 2.75. We're going to mark that out here, and then we square it out. You have to square it out. Squaring out is always good so that you get a perfect measurement. This front, we are going to be dropping it by 4 inches. We're going to be dropping the dart sloping by 4 inches. So we have connected that now. This is the dart point. So the allowance that we had here, remember we added 1 inch the dart allowance, and that is going to be the width of our dart. So let's go ahead and add that now. We're going to be connecting it. Okay guys, if you like my video, please do give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my YouTube channel, Lomzy Sews. I'm going to be uploading detailed sewing tutorials and sewing patterns. So if you push the notification box, it will allow you to see my post anytime I make any video. So let me know if you want me to make any design with this pattern or any design of a skirt. Do let me know in the comment section, and I will be pleased to do that video for you. Thank you. Bye.